is a next weather alert from CBS News Miami.
And off the top, it is a next weather alert day. Taking a live look outside, we are tracking another round of storms across South Florida into the evening. Torrential downpours caused a flood of trouble across Miami-Dade and Broward counties. And now we are dealing with another round of flood threats. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, along with next weather meteorologist Shane Hinton, tracking the timing of it all.
That's right, Naja. So the reason we issued this next weather alert is because the flood threat actually increased since yesterday whenever we were talking about the flood risk for today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the details for you here. Next weather alert until around 6 o'clock this evening is what the timeline is looking like. That's the window between now and then where I think our flood risk will remain fairly heightened. Additional rain with numerous storms, some of which could contain heavier downpours, which could lead to some flooding concerns. So what I want to do is I want to time everything out for you and show you what we can expect as we head throughout the next several hours. Here's a look at the next weather radar over the past several hours. You can see the bulk of the activity has really been ongoing in Miami-Dade and a little bit of light rain in Broward. Now, as I zoom in here closely to Miami-Dade, you'll see that that activity has really tapered off quite a bit, which is great news. However, since we're close to the peak heating of the day, we might have enough time for the atmosphere to kind of recharge if it hasn't cooled off from all the rain than what we saw earlier this afternoon. In Broward County, some light rain between Pompano Beach and Fort Lauderdale and even on the eastern edge of Davie. No concerns as of now, but notice that we still have some showers and storms lingering out to the south and west. These are moving in our direction, so if they're able to hold together and fall over areas that have seen inches upon inches of rain, not only today, but over the past 24 hours, I think we could have some additional flood concerns. Today, over 2.5 inches of rain once again in Miami, 0.08 of an inch in Fort Lauderdale, and just shy of 0.5 inch in Key West. But we have some isolated bullseye in Miami-Dade where we saw a flood advisory early this afternoon with radar estimates anywhere from near 2.5 inches to just over 3 inches. So the flood threat, as I mentioned, higher today than it was yesterday. And it makes sense because the ground a lot wetter than it was yesterday at this time. And also we're still tracking showers and storms. You now notice a level 2 out of 4 flood risk, which is the areas in yellow for eastern Broward County and Miami-Dade. This is going to be impacting our metro areas, so we have to keep a very close eye on the roadways, especially during that evening commute. I saw the roadways flooded just driving into the station earlier this afternoon. Rain tracker shows those showers and storms continuing throughout the next several hours, but then around 7, 8 o'clock, they really start to fizzle apart for Broward and Miami-Dade. My friends in the lower Keys, you're not out of the woods as some showers and storms could linger into the early nighttime hours. We'll kick off Wednesday morning on a mostly quiet note, but then another round of scattered showers and storms arrives around lunchtime and then lingers through the afternoon. We will also be monitoring a flood threat for tomorrow. As of now, it's still a level 1 out of 4. Your hourly forecast for the rest of this evening, temperatures upper 70s to lower 80s, so that's some benefit from the rain. We don't like the flood risk that comes with it, but the temperatures have been pretty bearable. Now, something else that could contribute to our flooding will be the king tides. Keep in mind high tides for Fort Lauderdale just before 11 o'clock this evening, around 10:43 for Miami, and just before midnight in Key West. Tomorrow, make note of those high tide times as well, as that will bring our flood concern also a little bit higher. Flash flood threat for tomorrow, you'll notice, still includes all of Broward County, northeastern Miami-Dade. That does include downtown Miami, somewhere that is prone to flooding. Hourly forecast for tomorrow has us peaking in the upper 80s to lower 90s ahead of the rain, and it just looks like we're going to be stuck in that pattern with plenty of moisture, but maybe some drier air that arrives by the weekend as rain chances taper off to 40% with highs in the upper 80s.
Shane, thank you. Now at 4, a woman was arrested in Mexico. Police say she is connected to the murder of a man in Hialeah. She faced a Florida judge just a short time ago. Her boyfriend is still on the run and is considered armed and dangerous. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner is outside the jail in Fort Lauderdale, and that's where the woman is waiting to be moved to Miami-Dade.
Ariely Alvarez is accused of helping her boyfriend cover up a murder. Then police say she headed to Mexico with their 5-month-old baby. Tuesday morning,
the court does find probable cause.
Judge Corey Friedman set a bond of $100,000 for each charge 27-year-old Ariely Alvarez Cabrera is facing, $200,000 total.
Ms. Alvarez presents my presentation waiving her appearance.
After initially waiving her right to appear, she came back, her private attorney hoping to lower her bond.
And the court at this time would not consider reducing the bond, considering she surrendered herself in Mexico for these charges.
I'm leaving at whatever the judge in Miami wanted. I'm not going to countermand that at this time.
The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office said last month her boyfriend met with the victim, 37-year-old Daylon Fleitas Gonzalez, inside the victim's truck when a fight broke out. Then police say her boyfriend, 32-year-old Alfredo Carballo Gonzalez, placed a recycling bin in the bed of the victim's truck and drove off with it. Police said his girlfriend, Hialeah, followed behind in another car. Detectives later found the truck and the recycling bin with Fleitas Gonzalez's body inside of it.
They were good friends. I don't know what happened. They took a piece of my heart. He was a young man, full of life, and he got along with everyone. He was the best for me.
Police said the two suspects disappeared with their 5-month-old baby. Police arrested Ariely Alvarez in Mexico and brought her back to Florida with her baby, who is safe. The plan is to now move Alvarez down to Miami-Dade, where the murder happened. As for her boyfriend, police are asking anyone with information to please come forward. You can call the Miami-Dade County Crime Stoppers. That number is 305-471-TIPS. In Fort Lauderdale, Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
New details this afternoon on a shooting investigation in Miami Gardens overnight. Police say they are searching for a shooter after a man was shot several times. It happened at an apartment complex along Northwest 27th Court and 191st Street. That's not far from Hard Rock Stadium. The victim was airlifted to the hospital. Anyone with information is asked to call police. Now to the latest on the Trump presidency. The White House and lawmakers on Capitol Hill are reacting to the release of a birthday message purportedly to be from President Trump to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. Torian Small has the latest from the White House.
The head of the House committee investigating the Jeffrey Epstein case is downplaying a message allegedly from President Trump to Epstein in 2003. The estate of the convicted sex offender turned the documents over to the committee, along with an apparent message from former President Bill Clinton.
This is about the victims. This is about embarrassing President Trump or Bill Clinton. This is about the victims.
President Trump has denied writing the note and making a sexually suggestive sketch. He's pursuing a defamation lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal for having earlier reported it.
That this absolutely was not the president's authentic signature.
House Democrats are trying to force a vote on compelling the release of the Epstein files.
If Republicans don't want to engage in a cover-up of pedophilia and this pedophilia ring, they should go sign this discharge petition.
On an economic front, the Bureau of Labor Statistics issued a major revision Tuesday showing the U.S. added 911,000 fewer jobs than initially estimated over a 12-month period that ended in March. The president has been highly critical of BLS and the data. In August, he fired the Bureau's commissioner.
We need accurate numbers. We need truthful and honest data, which is why the president took the monumental step to try and appoint and confirm new leadership at the BLS so we can have data that we can actually rely on.
In light of the sharp downward revision, the White House has once again called on the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates when it meets later this month. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
Today marks day 2 of jury selection in the trial of Ryan Ruth. Ruth is the man charged with trying to assassinate Donald Trump in South Florida when he was running for president last year. It's happening at the federal courthouse in Fort Pierce, where Ruth is representing himself. That means he is able to interview prospective jurors. Jury selection is expected to wrap up tomorrow. Opening statements begin on Thursday. When we come back, meet a young man who refuses to let a life-changing accident define who he is. Now in a wheelchair, he is helping others find their way too. In this week's all-new Miami Proud, we introduce you to an inspiring young man who refuses to be held back by the accident that put him in a wheelchair. And he is even offering help to others as they navigate their new normal.
Just watching this video is an adrenaline rush. You can see that Alejandro Labrada hasn't lost his adventurous spirit one bit. Look at him soaring from a plane.
How we respond to certain situations is completely 100% under our control.
A true testament to Labrada's unyielding determination, not letting a devastating accident rob him of the joy of life.
It was June 26, 6 p.m. I was going to my cousin's tattoo shop. He had his bike. He had just bought his bike, and I was very excited about riding it. He was always telling me, no, you can't. I'm like, come on, I'll just take it around for a ride. I crashed 2 blocks away from the tattoo shop. I'm a spinal cord injury. ¿Cómo está, Valito? Every time he comes here, I get a piece of candy. Todo tranquilo. I just come here and check on my people, check if they're need. Sometimes they might need help with some workouts, so I'll get them situated in the machines.
For the past 2 years, Labrada has been inspiring others at the Lynn Rehabilitation Center, serving as an outreach coordinator for the University of Miami's Miami Project to Cure Paralysis.
I said after my accident that I want to change someone's life for the better.
The Miami Project to Cure Paralysis was established in 1985 by NFL Hall of Fame linebacker Nick Bonaconti and neurosurgeon Dr. Barth Green. Bonaconti's son Mark sustained a spinal cord injury during a college football game. Driven by personal tragedy and a commitment to finding a cure, they co-founded the organization, which has since grown into the world's largest spinal cord injury research center.
We have 40 professors. They run teams of 2 to 20 people, and Alejandro is often the first point of contact for people who will be in our studies.
Labrada shows through example that an acquired disability is not the end. It's simply a new beginning.
You're doing a good job. You're doing. Yeah, I'm trying. I learned from you. I'm telling you, it's a pretty fun life. Right now in the wheelchair, I've ride bikes again, 4-wheelers. I've jumped out of planes. I go kayaking. I drive my own car. I do anything and everything.
The Miami Project to Cure Paralysis helps people living with paralysis because of spinal cord injury and other neurological conditions. They host multiple lectures and seminars throughout the year.
Miami Proud is presented by FPL, working for you every single day. Learn more at fpl.com/store.
Some good news for Lady Gaga's Little Monsters. She announced the rescheduled date for her postponed Mayhem Ball show at the Casella Center. That show will now happen on March 13th, 2026. You may recall it was last Wednesday night when Gaga was forced to cancel her show because of vocal strain. And that does it for the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay with us as we continue to track today's developing weather on air and online.